And good morning, everybody. It is Wonderful Wednesday with Connie Holmes. Now, I know it's Wednesday that you're watching all this, but we are actually recording it on Sloppy Sunday, as Connie wanted me to say, because she's been out with the farm animals and doing that sort of thing. So we are going to be transparent, everybody. It is actually Sunday when we are recording this. Now, Connie is a good friend of mine. And Connie, I love you. All right.
And I love you.
I'm doing one of your courses at the moment, and it is strategic planning. It's a master course. And there are a lot of hypnotists that we both know, and they are on this course of yours. It's on a Tuesday night. And I love it because whereas we might do this for our clients, helping them, it's really difficult sometimes to do it for ourselves. And you are getting us to do this all together and with each other. And it's a fabulous course. And I invite everybody to do it at some point. And what you're getting us to do at the moment, we've only had 2 sessions so far. You're getting us to think about our core values and the umbrella of those core values, because we may have umbrellas like I do with work, and now I've got doing this training, but there was this overarching one, the big umbrella of it, and I love that. And mine were integrity, passion, and inspiring people,
which you do so well.
So thank you. And then we had another week. Last week it was our mission statement, our big again vision. And oh my goodness, you went outside the box with me even further of my vision, and you invited me to think even bigger.
Yes.
Okay. And I was like, and then my mind exploded. And I was like, ooh, I really like this. So thank you, Connie.
You're welcome.
And then we had the mission statement and the goal statement. And I love that we went into breakout rooms and we were really thrashing it out. And it was just so helpful. However, Connie, you invited me and all of us to call you anytime. And I did. Because I was having this issue within my business. I'd had some feedback, Connie, and people were saying your Bunny Talk Process course needs to be 2 days, not 1 day. And I am very fortunate. I've already been invited by Dan Candell to train it as a 2-day anyway, because he's joining me up in Boston. And that's on the 22nd and the 23rd of March in Boston. And then you asked me this question. You said, Claudia, how come it's so little? And, you did. You asked me that. So I'm just going to let you take it away with the things that we said. And again, I can talk some more because you haven't spoken yet. I know I'm doing a lot of the talking. But Connie, you do ask those questions. What makes you be able to ask those questions so well?
Well, I'm also a life coach. And so one thing with coaches, we're trained on what to listen for, body language. I know we were on the phone, but body language can also come through with tone, tonality, that type of thing. But also it's listening for what's not spoken. And so you received a lot of great feedback from beautiful, well-intended people. They gave you great feedback, but you were just struggling with that price point. And I believe I just said, why do you have it priced at what you do? And then you said, it's because I want everyone to use this. I have goosebumps saying this. I want everyone to use this because I know how effective it is. And then I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I either pointed out or I asked you, well, what are your business values?
Yeah.
And then you immediately went back to what your business values are. You already shared what they were, but it was integrity, because that price point was you were in integrity with pricing it at what you did, knowing that your bigger reason behind it, that you wanted so many people to use this so that it can help the masses. And right there spoke to your passion for the bunny talk process and wanting to have so many people utilize it. And I'm sure we had much more that came out of it, but those were the highlights that I really recall.
Yeah, and it was because when I was training, when I was learning all my things in England, and this is like probably 10, 11 years ago, I really wanted to learn sleep talk, which is something, and I am trained in it now, and I use it. And it was through the sleep talk that I was actually told, Cheryl Ellman, who trained me in it, that I told her about the story about my daughter, and she said, you have to do something with it. And that's how Bunny Talk came through. However, going back to when I was looking to train for it in England, I couldn't afford it.
Right.
I couldn't afford it. It was too expensive because it was over $1,000.
Yeah.
And in England, we don't charge that much for our hypnosis sessions. And certainly not 10, 11 years ago. I was charging £40 for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And even then, as before I left, I'd only raised it to £60 because I lived in Yorkshire. And people in Yorkshire, it's like, don't pay for that. And plus there's we have the national health system, and you can get counselling for free. So why would people pay for hypnosis, even though it works so much quicker?
Exactly.
It's we all know that.
Yes.
Yes, counselling, yes, it has its place. Yes, it does. Yes, talk therapy does. Yes. However, we know that if people want to change more quickly, then hypnosis is, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinions, that much more efficient. And I personally believe it's more effective. Now, got to be careful with that one. Don't want to upset people.
Right.
However, I couldn't afford to do it.
Exactly.
Something that parents do for their children.
Yep.
And it's the 2-minute gift that parents give to their children when they're asleep at night.
Yeah.
And it was, again, I do this thing, and it's on YouTube with the coffee. And I got that from Beryl Comer, because she trains people in it as well. She lives in Spain, and she's one of my mentors. And oh my gosh, it really upset me as I was telling you this, that and if I had been able to afford to do it, then my children would have been in a lot better place. And that still upsets me.
Exactly. Well, and that is how we landed at that discussion, because you were getting a lot of feedback from US based people that, we're speaking what we know, but you still had one leg back in the UK and one leg here in the United States. And that's where you stood with those two legs. You stood in integrity, recalling what you just shared there, knowing your passion that you want so many people to be trained in this. And so your business value that helps support your business, that allowed you to make an easier decision. As I say in my course with business values, it's an easy yes, it's a hard no. It just allows decisions to be made better, clearer, that type of thing. And boom, that came to you. And I think it was very helpful and very beautiful.
Yeah, because I had so many people say, Claudia, it needs to be $1,500. It needs to be this. It's, other people, it needs to be $2,000. I'm like, no, it does not. It doesn't.
Which is a beautiful compliment, because that says how great of a product it is. However, that is US based, and your plan is to have this be worldwide. So then you need to speak to that worldwide audience. That's at least what I got from our conversation.
Yeah, I'd much rather people could afford to do it,
right?
And to me, that is just so much more important, because for me, as I say, it's like let's help the children, let's help parents, let's help children, let's do this. And we can do this together. The more people that are trained in it, then the more children and the parents are helped. Because parents might come to us saying, oh, fix my child. and you like me, we know that it's not often the child, it's the environment the child is in, and who's in charge of that?
Yes.
The parents.
Yep.
So that's why this course is actually enables you to have a session with the parents, first of all, before the child might come in for their change work. Because sometimes it's not the parent, maybe the child, something really awful has happened and that was, not in the parents' control. As I say, they've witnessed something at school, or this has happened to them on the school bus, or this has happened elsewhere, and the parent had nothing, they weren't in control of that. So then, yes, that's where the whole bunny talk process can come in. So works so beautifully. But I've been doing it on on adults within a child work. And again, that's all within the whole course. So yes, which is why I know people are saying, oh, it needs to be this, it needs to be that. No, I want people to be able to do it. And that's why it's 2 days, because actually there is a lot. There is a lot. And people do need to know how to do it. And there's the supportive Facebook group, which is there always, because I'm very good at doing things like that and supporting people. But I wouldn't have got to that. I couldn't have understood it. And I would never have, if you hadn't asked me that question. And you, Connie, are the one that holds space for me.
Thank you for that. I received that. Thank you. It's my honor.
Yeah, you do, and a lot of people in here will know that when I've had some issues, I've got to speak to Connie, and I will do, even if I'm doing it myself, havening on me, you're holding the space for me to make that change work.
That's lovely. Thank you for sharing.
There are just some people who are our people who can do that for us, and you're my person. And it was funny because I actually shared that with a few people on the court, and they said, "No, Connie's my person."
Yes, that was nice.
and then somebody else said, "No, she's mine." She's mine. And which is great, because actually that is a massive compliment to you, because you are a fabulous keynote speaker, a fabulous trainer, and you train people in hypnosis, and then you do these other masterclasses. And I know that in your area as well, Connie, you give a lot. Tell people what you do. You help people with addictions. You have run a class.
Yes. Once a week, I go to, it's a location called Wis Hope, and it's an addiction recovery center. So I go there weekly, and I provide mindfulness mastery classes. And I come at that from so many different ways. And then I'll go there once a month, and I offer a workshop on different things as well. So that's what I love about this work. It is so far reaching when we know it can be far reaching. And that's what, with this course, why I came out with it. Because some of the viewers might know this, but I do come to this second half of my life with 30 years of corporate experience. And I got so much out of that. I became a very rich person through corporate America, one for obvious reasons, finances, but also just rich in knowledge and the business resources. And I wanted to use that into my own space. And just like you, when I came out with this course, I think pricing things are probably one of the hardest things to do, if I'm honest with myself, because I'm like you, this is a business for me. So yes, I want to make money, but yet I want so many people to have a successful business. And to me, you can do that when you operate from a strategic plan and an annual action plan. And if I can help others do that, just like you with the bunny talk process, like what should I price this at? And so that's always like the conundrum, right? But it's because we're coming at it from our heart and our head. That's what I like to say. It's like the heart and the head combo, right?
Mm. Yeah, and it's true, because then it's like, well, why don't you just do it for free? Well, yeah, but then nobody would value it, and they probably wouldn't pay attention to it, and they wouldn't probably even use it.
And then there's the reality of, okay, someone's got to pay for the Zoom. Someone has to pay for this light being on right now. Someone needs to pay for how I'm advertising this. So, at the end of the day, it is business, and that's okay. That is okay.
Yeah, it is okay, because
Yeah.
you're right. I've got it costs me an awful lot of money to live here in America, to stay here.
Right.
With our visas, it's crazy. So yeah, you're right. And if we're going to go and spread the word and going to the conferences and things, the flights and stuff.
Exactly.
So yeah, you're right. And it is a business. But I still think there's that value stake.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And then people will like going, oh well, actually, and then it is got to be good value.
Yes.
For money. So and I just want you to know that your course is fabulous, and I'm really enjoying making those connections on it. So I know you're going to do it again,
Yes.
and we're going to have the links in the comments for everybody, and of how they can get hold of you. And you've got more books, and people will have heard me say that be you to be full. I've got your book here, and your acronyms are absolutely wonderful. People know that I share those, and I'll share them again because I can, and because because they're good, they work.
Thank you.
What's your latest one again? Legacy.
It's a series of 3 books. It's called Openness, a collection of perspectives to connect you to yourself. And they really can be utilized for daily devotionals, if you will, because they're just really short passages, if you will, and just something to have you maybe focus your attention on that day. Just new perspectives, new ways of thinking of things. But I had so much material that when I put it out, it was, I think when the designer or the formatter laid it out, it was like 650 pages. And I'm like, no, it can't be that long. So I ended up breaking it out into a series of 3 books. Obviously you can buy it as a collection or just one at a time, but they're all different perspectives on things. So no, I appreciate the plug for that. And I also, and plus the plug for the course, because, I'm doing this is the first one that I'm doing right now. Just like anything, when we do a course, you want to do it, get your feet wet, get some feedback, and then apply that feedback to the next one. But it is going to be something I do quarterly, because one, you can start a strategic plan at any time. We're purposely doing this class though now so that everyone can hit the new year with the strategic plan. And I know it might sound simple, but I'm going to ask you, if you are not, and this is a general ask, if people are not as successful as they want to be in their business, are you working from a written strategic plan and a written action plan that lets you know where are you going, why are you going there, and are you going to know it when you reach it? And do you have milestones along the way to give you like little check-ins, like, hey, Claudia, you're heading in the right direction, keep on going. Or, hey, red light, you're not quite where you need to be yet. So what do you need to button up and hunker down on? And that's the whole point of it, because, what's that phrase or that quote, what gets written gets measured. I'm not saying it right, but
I know what you mean. If you put it down, then you're more likely to do it. And the fact that we're all actually almost keeping ourselves accountable on here with everybody else, it's really good. And that's and any person in business, if you're doing it, you need a mentor.
Yeah.
You need a coach or a mentor or a really good friend who will keep you accountable, or even yourself, like you say, with your own plan, and keep checking it. Well, where am I? Where am I? Am I doing that? And you have this wonderful saying that its boiling point is 111 degrees, and then steam is made at 112 degrees. Have I got the
212? Yeah,
212.
Yep.
And steam moves locomotives.
Yeah.
So how can you raise your how can you raise your business up by just 1% in order to actually move it along? And it only needs to be 1% more. What can you do?
Yeah.
I think I haven't said it right either, but it's Sunday. So even though everybody's watching this on Wednesday, but hey ho, people will get the gist of that.
Yeah.
The fact is that you help people, you help us, and that is what my whole thing was. I remember we did a drumming thing. You said you are the helper's helper, and that stuck with me so much. And you are too.
Thank you so very much. I do appreciate it. And you know what? It's these types of connections that I just love and I value so much. And when I train others, certify others in hypnosis, I say, I know I sound biased and you're not going to quite get it until you enter into this community, but this is the most loving, beautiful, gracious, giving community I've ever been a part of. And I know that this is what allows us to stand apart and stand out, which is so beautiful.
Yeah. Well, I cherish it.
I do too. I feel so lucky and blessed to be here. And that's why, and again, that's why I do the things that I do. I add a mentorship, a year-long mentorship to those that I certify. It comes with the course that you paid for because I know the value of mentoring. And plus, you too. I don't care if you're doing this business for, I was 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, or 20 years. Every client teaches us something. And so I hated the thought of certifying people and then, okay, see ya, where like the next day I'm going to have a new client and I'm going to have this new learning about something. I want to share that with you. So that's why I added this year-long mentorship to my training. But also that's why I'm doing a lot of business training too, because I tell my students that it is our responsibility to make our business successful, not just for us and our family, but our past, current, and our future clients. Yeah. Because if they love you and they want to send a referral, oh, well, sorry, her business didn't make it. She's no longer in existence. Well, that's no good. So that's why it's our responsibility to keep our doors open. And when we can learn these things that they can be kind of a pain in the butt. I think I told all of you guys in this class, like, this might not be the funnest class you've ever taken because we are going to put our heads down and we're going to work. And doing a strategic plan is not necessarily fun or easy, but that's exactly why people don't do it.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a pain in the tush. Mm-hmm. But when you actually do it, it pays dividends.
Yeah.
And so then people are pleased on the other side of that.
But it's the understanding that you're getting about yourself.
Yes. Yep.
And then it's like, oh yeah. And then you realize actually there is reasons why you jump out of bed excited to work with people. And it's because I have this massive passion.
Yeah.
And that's why I get so excited. And yes, and I've always been like that. I do get very excited to the point, Connie, I don't know if you know this, that when I was little, I used to stutter.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And it was because I was so excited. Oh, I couldn't get my words out quick enough. And I had so much to say. And they were going, slow down. It's okay. But I was, and I still am like that.
I love that though. What a great awareness, right?
So I must have been born with it. This like excited little kid.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, and then now you get to, and people feel that excitement, that turns into passion, that turns into inspiration, motivation, all those beautiful things.
Yeah, I know. It's great, isn't it? Aren't we lucky that we get to do this?
I know. Every time a client leaves my office, I'm just like, oh, thank you. Thank you. And then whenever there's new opportunities, like Wednesday, I'm giving a keynote presentation to a group of realtors, a realtors association, because they want to talk about mindset and productivity. I'm like, oh my God, these are my two like almost favorite things in the world, mindset and productivity. And realtors, but what a great opportunity to inspire people, give people new thoughts and ideas and stuff like that. So every time a door like that opens, like who would ever have thought that with coaching and hypnosis?
I know.
Right?
And you're right, actually. I'm doing one in January the 16th for the local commerce place in Holly Springs. I'm doing it on communication skills for the businesses.
Yes, exactly.
So there you go.
Yes.
Yeah. And what is money talk? It's a communication skill.
I know. I tell my students, so if this is a benefit for your viewers, but, a lot of times people are like, well, I'm a hypnotist and that's great, but I help with smoking or weight or all these things. But honest to God, I feel breaking into corporate can be rather simple. I mean, I do have a corporate client from Tampa, Florida. And the reason why I have them is because I'm active on LinkedIn, just posting inspirational posts. And it is somebody I used to work with. And he was able through my post to see that I have my business that's full time and all of that stuff. And he reached out to me to ask if I would do some consulting with them. And so I helped them create a mentorship program. I trained their staff on how to kind of like a train the trainer type of thing, and all of that. And it's not like he needed me for hypnosis or even life coaching, but he needed me for the inspiration and the motivation and the business skills and mindset skills, with the hypnosis that I was able to apply to our work together.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because it's the soft skills. So that's what I've trained as well within the Bunny Talk. It's like soft skills, because actually I use those as well when I speak to realtors and, local people in smaller businesses. It's that awareness and that understanding of, okay, get the bigger picture of why people are behaving that way.
Yes.
And then it's like they can be maybe a bit more compassionate, more understanding. And okay, I've got you, instead of just seeing so black and white.
Right.
Thinking, being rigid.
Yes.
Because it's so important, in my opinion, to be flexible.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, I love that. Sorry, my dogs are chewing on a water bottle. I hope you didn't hear that.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's Sloppy Sunday, even though this is coming out Wednesday.
You've got to love it, haven't you? So, okay, well, I think we can wrap up there, and we're going to have your, as I say, all of your links in the comments, Connie. And everybody, thank you for watching. And it's goodbye from me, Claudia Rickard.
And goodbye from me, Connie Jo Holmes. Take care.
Yeah, take care, everybody. Have a good day.